All right, so we're on the USD CAD today on the 60-second time frame using ITM Saturn Pro, looking to take some trades on short-term time frames, high probability ones only. Currently, we have strong bearish strength with a weak bullish 1 hourly trend. So we're going to focus on short-term trades in line with the short-term trend, which is currently bearish, and see how far we get. Now, currently, we're looking at some resistances appearing in line with the bearish trend. So we're going to take a retracement short trade here. Go buy a low option on the USD CAD, and that's immediately gone into profits. We have 60 seconds remaining. The reason for that is that resistance formed at 23.6% retracement in line with the bearish trend is showing us that we can take a retracement trade towards the downside, which is now working out in our favor. This is why ITM Saturn Pro is such a fantastic tool to have for short-term trading, because not only does it give you the actual trend and the probabilities associated with taking a certain move, it also gives you the exact automatically calculated points of retracement, so you can take a much lower risk and hence much higher probability trade in the direction of your choice. In this case, trading with the trend, strong bearish momentum on the short time frame, and that trade has just completely catapulted away in our direction. So we're waiting for another 10 seconds before this trade expires, and we will continue to look for trends short as long as the trend on the short-term time frame remains bearish, which it is at the moment, strong bearish. So we have now had that trade expire in the money, and the trade should be updating shortly with the acquired profit. There was a $500 investment on that trade. That should turn into $850. That means a $350 profit on that trade. Again, we're looking at some strong bearish probabilities as well as strong bearish momentum, but this isn't exactly the right time to enter a trade. The reason for that being, I'm just going to take you back to the chart while I examine these calculated profits here. USD CAD, prepare the chart. Before we go, we're going to take a look at what's going on. Now we have a resistance point and a slightly sideways momentum going on over here, but we still are extremely bearish. So the point of entry that we're going to take is going to be either a retracement off of that reversal number 2.23.6%. In line with the trend, which is bearish, or we're not going to trade this minute and let it go by in line with the trend again, but not taking any dodgy trades. So we see retracement happening. 1 minute has passed, so we're going to go ahead and check that again. Quickly make sure we're in line with the trend. It has retraced up until the mid-range of the 23.6 to 0% retracements as indicated by ITM Saturn Pro. So I think it's safe to go ahead and take this trade now. We're just going to wait a little longer to see if it goes against us or in our direction, see if that's that minute before completed retracement or not. Will it go further again to hit the 23.6? No, it's not. So we're going to go ahead and take this trade now, since that retracement has clearly failed with 39 seconds in. So we're going to give it another 20 seconds since we've missed it, but take an early entry into the next minute. Now we're in again short with a $500 investment, aiming for another short-term profitable trade here. Don't worry about charts fluctuating. 60-second time frames tend to be like that. You will see fluctuations happen quite often. So if the chart is currently hovering against you, that's fine, because it may well be the case most of the time during the trade. Wait for the end outcome. So we have gone into profit again, and that was expected since bearish probabilities are quite high. Retracements have failed, and ITM Saturn Pro is basically indicating all the various tools here are pointing downward. So we're in that down trade and should be looking to have a profitable trade here. Don't worry about the fluctuations. Still, the minute hasn't ended. There are 15 seconds, and 15 seconds are a very long time when you're trading on short-term time frames like the 60-second time frame. If this trade were to not expire in our favor, it is currently doing that, but if it weren't to expire, I will also show you how I'm going to place a live hedge trade and turn that loser into a winning trade. So we have expired in the money here, so there's no need to take that retaliatory action. We're seeing 100% low put option probability here, but there is a strong support there at that 1.11283 level. So we're still going to go short in line with the trend, but we're going to wait for A, this expiry to get calculated, and B, to see what happens at that support. Price is broken through, but because it's a fresh support, this is a low probability trade. We're still going ahead with it. This is a low probability trade. It's quite likely that this may fail. If it does fail, I will show you how to turn this failed trade into a winning trade to reduce the total loss on this particular trade. I think it's possibly going to fail. We are seeing 100% low put option probability, but because that support is very strong, I wouldn't be surprised if price retraces back to the 23.6% retracement. So let's have a look here. We haven't executed yet, so just going to examine that trade. They've both come into a profit here, so 850 each. We have a retracement, a successful retracement here to the 23.6. So since the market did that before, we will go short again on that successful retracement in line with the trend, which is 100% low put option probability. Just quickly have a look at the chart again. Yes, so we're going to go for it in line with the trend, buy that short trade again. Let's have a look and see what happens now. We're on a third trade on the USD CAD on the 60-second time frame. We have 50 seconds remaining, but price is looking like it's broken through the 23.6. So we're going to wait for this price to show some more behavior at that level. This was a 100% low put option probability trade, but it looks like it's going against us. So we're now going to retaliate. Can't wait any longer. We're going to retaliate and break this trade in its tracks. Going to place a long trade on the USD CAD in the opposite direction since retracement has been broken, and it's quite likely that this trade will definitely end up in the money because since retracement has broken on the 23.6, the next likely target is the 38.2 according to ITM Saturn Pro, visually displayed on your screen right here. So this here is a counter trend trade. It's being placed to hedge off the other trade, USD CAD short direction, which has failed as retracement was breached. So this trade will now win, save us the loss on the previous trade, and keep us net profitable. So we've made $850, which means $350 each on those two trades worth of profit. There you go. That trade has now expired, out of the money, and that gives us a $500 loss. So we've made $700 on the previous trade, two trades. We've made $500 less on this trade, but we've immediately hedged it to save us the trouble of making a full loss here, and we're most likely going to end up being in the money on this particular trade. Just going to prep up the chart, so in case I need to execute another trade, I can do that. This trade, the last one that I've executed, the hedge trade, is going in its direction. So let's have a quick look at that expiry. That is definitely in our direction. So we've successfully hedged out the loss before it, where you see the return $0, and that $500 loss has now been reduced to a $150 loss. So our total profit for the day is $350 on the first trade, $350 on the second trade, which makes $700, $500 on a loss on that second trade, on the third trade, and a $350 profit on this last trade that's executed in the money for us, making it a total of $900.